Developing tonight, illegal drugs hiding in sweet treats. The packaging looks just like candy kids eat all the time. Tonight, police are alerting parents after a recent raid of several South Texas homes.
Our border reporter Oscar Margain shows us this marijuana candy that could trick children and parents.
It looks like candy, feels like candy, and tastes like candy. And that's because it is candy. But this particular batch seized by McAllen police promises more than just a sugar high.
It looks like commercially available candy, but it's not. This contraband contains marijuana.
McAllen Police Lieutenant Joel Morales says everything from the packaging to the actual sweets are meant to fool not just parents, but unsuspecting children.
It takes the forms of, if you will, gummy bears, what they call watermelon slices, apple rings. If you look at the packaging and you see the labels and the figures on it, it's something that would be appealing to a child or a young person, a teenager, if you will.
The seizure took place Friday after investigators raided a home in this neighborhood where they found the candy assortment infused with THC, the active ingredient in cannabis or marijuana that gets you high. Police isn't saying who was arrested or how much drug-laced candy was found.
¿Eso le sorprende? Pues cómo no por los niños.
This McAllen resident was surprised to find out that the drugs were discovered inside his neighbor's house and worries it may fall in the hands of children, especially if there's nothing giving it away.
And that's what makes it more difficult, that once it's out of the package, you don't know what it is. And that's our concern right there, Oscar. You look at that, and it imitates commercially available candy.
So be on the lookout. Lieutenant Morales warns that anyone coming across this or any other similar product to make sure that if you didn't buy it, find out where it was purchased and by whom. In McAllen, Texas, I'm Oscar Margain reporting.